So, dealing with challenging user research participants. So, I've been doing user research over 20 years, and during that time, I've moderated a significant amount of research sessions, and a very small percentage of those sessions represent challenges because, for different reasons, the participant isn't necessarily providing the kind of insights that you would hope for or would expect. So I'm just providing a series of short videos to provide some tips and advice on how you can turn around what could have been a very challenging and a very poor research session into a session which does actually provide some tangible, valuable insights. So what about if a participant is just rushing through a scenario? They're clearly not paying care and attention. They're not really thinking about what they're doing, and it's just like they just want to rush through and get through the session. Well, the tip here is to know that the person is taking part in a research session, and that however much they may want to try and rush through things, at any point that you can just ask them to say, "Oh, could you just go back to that last section that you're on there? I'd just like to ask you a few questions about it." So even though they've skipped over it, they've not paid any attention to it, and they're not really kind of taking maybe the research seriously, at any point as a moderator, you can just ask someone to go back and to say, "Oh, I know you just went through that quite quickly, but I'd just like you to go back through a couple of those steps and just explain to me what your thoughts are about the information that's been asked for, or if you can just explain to me what you think about the information that's being presented there for you at the moment." So you've got to know that as long as you do it in a constructive way, at any point as a moderator, you can ask the participant if they've just been rushing through and not really giving any constructive feedback, because maybe they just feel like they want to get through the session and get paid for it potentially. Then as a moderator, you can ask them to go back. You can ask them to go back and just ask them to explain a bit more. And you can just say that, that was done quite quickly, but I'd like to find out how how the company could improve this page for you and for others moving forward. So once again, for people to know that they're being valued and appreciated and listened to, even though they've tried to skip through things quite quickly, this can help open the door and give them an opportunity to actually share things which they didn't share first time round when they just tried rushing through, going through a process or a checkout or an application process, for instance. So I look forward to providing more tips. Thank you, and God bless you.